when it comes to the physical, tell me something new. Tell me something about looking at the physical in a different way that can give me a new result.
I would ask for myself, right? What have I done? What have worked? What have not worked, right? And then, so if I get re-injured, what can I do this time different? If you've had your same doctor or your same PT, your same chiropractor, whoever provider you're working with, if it's been a long time and you keep re-injuring, then why? Is there somebody else out there that can help me? Because me being a chiropractor, there's tons of different approach to chiropractic. So choosing really how, with who to work and what to do in therapy wise, what kind of therapy would be best for this new injury is really getting inside, get your intuition on and say, what else can I do different?
If you're in some type of physical modality to work on supporting your sport or supporting your profession or what you're doing, please continue to do it and inquire to yourself, is it working? Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. If you're looking for an edge, if you're looking to step up your game and reach the highest level of performance, then evaluate what you're doing. Is what you're doing the best therapy suited for what's happening in your life, or is there another one to explore? Maybe the same therapy with a new doctor or healer. Is there a way that you're working against your physical therapy? So are you pushing too hard? Are you going too fast?
For me, some of the biggest ahas came when I let go of the push, or we consider the yang or the masculine. It's the sprints and the weightlifting and the really physical sports. And I allowed myself the exploration of yoga and martial arts and contemporary dance. And it's like, whoa, dance. What does dance have to do with football? Walter Payton and Herschel Walker, some of the all-time greats, did ballet. If you're an actor, you may know that James Dean did modern dance. And my exploration of that, wow, it shifted things for me and gave me ahas, in addition to increasing my coordination, my sense of space. And that's a whole level of intelligence. I could feel my body. I knew where I was in space in a whole new context. And my ability to move in different directions greatly enhanced. I had also wonderful experience with doing martial arts. My Taekwondo master, he was like, you're all fire. You're just hitting so hard. I would just hit. You're too hard. Be like water. And I began to become more fluid, and I drastically increased my overall quickness, my ability to move my hands like I could my feet. That was enormously helpful. And that was all because I asked the question, or someone gave me a tip. Hey, why don't you try this? Or have you explored that? You keep injuring your back. Your musculature is very tight. Try something that pulls it open, that has you become more flexible. And it opened up entire pathways to improving my life that I'm so grateful for, because I did something new, just in the physical, before I get to anything else. Let's move on to the chemical world. But when I say chemical, Dr. Adam, what are we talking about? What is inside what we consider this branch, this chemical branch?
Yeah, thank you, Michael. So we're talking about the food, the things that a person puts into their body. At all times, our bodies are dying and replacing themselves, all the cells, with whatever we put into our body. So what we drink, what we eat, and then even chemicals that we're exposed to. But for this presentation, focus on the foods. Does your regimen support your healing? Food produces chemical reactions in the body that might be healthy for one time and detract during other circumstances. So what does that mean? Seasons of life change, they flow. So what are you looking to accomplish? Are you in the off season or during the season? Are you healing? Do you drink enough water? What does your food look like? Are you eating organic? Do you have chemicals? Are you eating processed foods? Are you making yourself acidic or basic? Do you even know how that affects the performance of your body? Is your food raw or cooked? These are a lot of very important questions of what are you putting into your body And what are you trying to accomplish? The food that I put into my body affects the metabolism, affects the growth, affects the performance of my body. But one other part, you may not know this, it affects the energy of my brain. It affects the thoughts that come into my existence. So the foods you put into your body are way more valuable than just I'm hungry and I'm hungry for X. If you're a high level performer or if you're looking to heal yourself, the foods play a very, very important role.
I was going to also mention supplements, because in a leap where we take a lot of supplements, vitamins, and really what kind of supplements you're taking, how clean they are, where are they being produced, that kind of stuff also is important.
I have a dear close friend who is a detective investigator for the FDA, and he says they're always investigating the protein powders, typically the ones that are sold at the more commercial weightlifting focused locations. They're often mixed with all kinds of stuff that has nothing to do with what's on the label.
There is the exterior, right? Because around us, there's a lot of chemicals. I mean, even makeup, that's all chemical, right? So there is a lot of what you put in, but we have to also consider that around us, there's a lot of chemical already, toxicity, going around. And now you have to pay attention also what you're getting.
Probably the most important salient point that helped me apply it to all areas within this chemical category is the toxicity and how we can create toxicity in our body by eating against what it's asking for in that moment, or combining foods that are tough to digest at the same time. For example, if you're having a meal and then you have what many people do is they have the fruit last. Fruit digests much more quickly than anything else. So what happens is as your body's getting into that hamburger or that Beyond Beef burger or whatever that you've eaten first, and then you're like, I'm going to have some watermelon. Well, that watermelon's done digesting, and so it sits on top of the heavier, denser molecules that you've eaten, and it just rots. And it creates toxicity. Just like you have rotting food in the house, it starts to putrefy and smell and break down and stuff grows on it. That's what happens inside your body. Even with all the awareness in the world and all the greatest therapies, if you're feeding your body not enough nutrients or substandard or toxic nutrients or things that are combining to create toxicity, you're working against yourself. And that works the same if you were taking a drug to accelerate the body. They're prescription ones and there are recreational ones that get you all hopped up and you can study more, dance more, or work out more, or whatever. But the reality is that it ends up tiring the body out. It takes away from one store and then puts it someplace else. And it ends up drying the body out, tiring the body out, and other things which can then inhibit performance, even though temporarily it gives you a bump. Longer term, it works in reverse. So look at your physical and chemical from a longer term perspective. There are other chapters into your life. So factor these into the equation.